Alright, Skipuli, this video is actually going to take you through the end of 1.6, not the part that you started working on in class. You were reading about the two routes, and I think you guys made it to, maybe through Pawsent. So I'm gonna pick up there, maybe somewhere in between as far as you got in class, and then finishing it out for homework, right? So we had the two routes. We're talking about the second route, or sorry, all of that is Pawsent is about the first route, unum, right? And then we learn about the alterum, the other one, the second one, per provinciam nostrum. And then we get our ablative of degree of difference with our comparative. Could be an adverb, but since we're talking about a route in the neuter, this must be the comparative adjective, the eor eus neuter form. So easier by a lot or much easier, atque more expeditious, right? Because inter fines with the genitive, right? Inter fines Helvetiorum, and what's the other? It's between this and that's got to also be genitive, right? Between the fines of the Helvetii and of the Alabriges. Alabriges, right? So they're a third declension, and so is their genitive ending. Between these guys fines and these guys fines, the Alabriges qui nuper pacati erant, we still need a subject and verb because the Rhodanus fluits inter fines Helvetiorum et Alobrigum qui nuper pacati erant, and it, he, she, it's actually a he form, but the most recent he was the Rhodanus, so in English I'd say and it, non nullis locis. I could put the non with the transitor, right? Non often goes with the verb, but non nullus is often written as one word. It might even be in your textbook written without a space. Non nullus, your adjective for literally not none, but it means some, right? But so and in some locis, it is crossed by fording, or being able to walk across, fording with wagons and stuff. Oregon Trail, once upon a time. The furthest most oppidum, and then there's your genitive again, right? Of the Alobriges est, and it's what? Oh, and the proximum to what? To the finibuses of the Helvetiorum is Genawa. From this oppidum, a pons ad Helvetios pertinet. Alabriges in the dative, so we got to figure out why. We've got this probably accusative sese, and then this could be an infinitive. Could be persuasuros, short for persuasuros esse. That often happens that we'll leave out the esse in an infinitive that requires it, or the est if it's a verb that requires a fourth principal part plus est. And since I just had this accusative, I'm just on the lookout for infinitives, and then I'm on the lookout for head verbs, and if they're all there, then that's what I'm dealing with. So I've got Alabriges in the dative, and persuading takes the dative, so probably sese is the subject of this infinitive verb, and that verb is taking this object in the dative case, but I still need to find a head verb to prove that. Quod non dum bono anima, that's ablative, in populum Romanum, and then my head verb. No, that's not my head verb, sorry, that it wouldn't even make sense there. I'm going to skip the quod clause, and then go on to the main clause, existimabant. And that's a head verb. They were thinking, right? They were estimating, they were judging, approximating that, say, that they themselves would either persuasuros, esse, infinitive, would either persuasuros the Alabriges, because the Alabriges, they, the passive of to see, right, is often translated as seemed, right, because they seemed, not yet, ablative of description, of good attitude, like to have a good attitude towards the populum Romanum. Oh, so we can persuade the Alabriges because, they don't really like the Romans. They were thinking that either they could persuasuros the Alabriges, or they could the other infinitive they could do after existimabant, coacturos, that they could coacturos esse them, we, by force. And what could we compel them? An indirect command. Ut persuos fines eos ire paterenser. To allow eos to ire per suos fines. Next sentence, omnibus rebus, ablative noun, ad profectionem comparatis ablative participle, making this lovely thing an ablative absolute, with all the rebus having been comparatis for the profectionem. They diem dicunt, which is like say a day, but we're going to translate that as they set a day. Qua die, just like up above when we had quibus itineribus, qua would normally mean which, but since there's like they set a day which, but since it's got another word in the same case as it, it's like which day. And since it's ablative, I'll say on which day, right? They're setting a day. On which day they would conveniant at the ad ripam of the Rhodanus. Oh, they would omnes conveniant. Sorry, subject and verb. On which day they would omnes conveniant ad ripam with the genitive Rhodani. Isties, subject, erat, and then a Roman date, so that your textbook has a note for you, and then a Roman year expressed with this ablative name and this other ablative name, the fact that they're consuls in the ablative, and it's technically an ablative absolute, right? But it tells us what year it is, with this dude and this dude being these things, okay? So that should help you finish out 1.6. Gratias.